Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the 35th episode of an All Sports Talk podcast. Um, I'm one of your hosts, Michael Huddle Card. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. You can see by looking at the background, some things are happening here. We're getting ready. We're starting to work on a basement and everything. And over in that area over there, that's where the new headquarters will be. Matty Ice, how you doing, buddy? Hope all is well. That's where the new headquarters is going to be. The room I'm in right now will be the home theater and stuff, but got to get the walls at least up so we can get the HVAC done. We have no heating or air conditioning down here, and thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Um, we have no heating or air conditioning down here, and although it hasn't been that bad, I mean, it was a little on the muggier side. You know, when we had a lot of those hot days and stuff. What's up, Anthony? How you doing? Hope all is well. Still moving in? Because I feel you, bro. Maddie I says hello. But yeah, so I'm trying. I got stuff that I want to open. I'm not sure about open. I'm trying to figure out, like what's the best way to go ahead and film something. Maybe it's just I have to do it up at the kitchen table and just film it and then go ahead and just film an intro and an outro and then put it all together. So but I got some stuff that I want to open, and yeah, I mean, the hardest part, I mean look, we've been here, I don't know, 6 weeks now, and we're still doing stuff upstairs. The hardest part here is that you know clear out an area to work on an area, then you move all the stuff into another area, right? And then what happens is, like I got to work on the other side over there, and I got a big area that I got to move. There's some big stuff, and I got to move it somewhere, but I don't want to move it all the way to this side of the house. But I may have to do that because then I got to get the floor in, and the floor is probably going to start down there. It's a pain in the ass. Just finish up work for the night. That's nice. So it's like, the the only negative to where we are right now is just that because we are on a septic system, I can't put a storage building on the property because the only open area I got is where the septic system is, and you can't build on top of one. You're not allowed to. So I deal with so it's like I'm trying to figure out, okay, where I can go ahead and create storage, but not go ahead and really take away, too much from the downstairs area, so we could, have a nice, nice build a tree house. I can't build a tree house. I don't have any trees. They had to clear cut the property. Um, yeah, it's not that easy. Not that easy. So we're trying to figure stuff out as we go along. Uh, it's a and you know what? And it's okay. It's making me look at some stuff and go, you know what? I got to put this on the pile or put this in the area for garage sale stuff. From that standpoint. What's up, Lockin? How you doing? But I mean, like I say, like there's card stuff over there to sell. You can't see it, but there's card stuff over there to sell. There's a box of cards down over big. Some of these boxes are loaded with all of my mega boxes and hobby boxes and blaster boxes, that I have. There's there's a whole bunch of 5 rows over there, and there's 5 rows over there. So I mean, it's just, I mean, the good thing is this. I mean, I have bought some new product that it's not really going to be new by the time I get a chance to open it. But But the thing is I'm gonna start to go through and just, you know, the boxes that I have, I still want to do a rip and ship. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Um, Especially now with the latest, stuff from the shipping perspective of for USPS. Uh, yes, I have 4 blasters of platinum anniversary uh of this year, and I actually have some of the other years also. Um, I want to do I want to do the rip and ship, but it's going to be tough to do the rip and ship because with the way the way the shipping prices are right now, they're going to kill you. They're really charging a lot of money for the lighter packages now. Looking at from a standpoint of how you going to make it work. Like some people are saying that an 8 ounce, 9 ounce, 10 ounce, maybe even as much as a 12 ounce package, that is going from, East Coast to West Coast, is like over $10 or something like that. Like the numbers are crazy. And that might even be with pirate ship also. So, you want to have rip and chip, but it's like, okay, guys, how how fast do you want, your cards and everything, from that standpoint? Do you want them right away? You might have to pay a little more on shipping if you wait. So it's going to be tough. Rip and chips are going to be really difficult, uh, in my opinion. Now, I may be wrong, but in my opinion, I think they're going to be a little hard. I probably will look to do something on district. I want to get back there and do some more card sales, whether it be a claim sale, do rip and ship, or just ship, whatever it may be, whatever people like and stuff. Um, but again, it's not that easy and everything. Yes, that's another thing. Yeah, if you're shipping to a rural address, no matter what it is, you have a 4 ounce package, they automatically bump you to the top rate of the ground advantage they automatically bump you up to a pound if you're going to be in a rural area. I mean, you know, and it's tough. And it's tough, and people a lot of people don't realize, because a lot of people they go, what do? They jump online, they have Amazon Prime, and they go and they order something that is $8.27, and boom, it shows up quick to their house. And oh, because they're Prime, they don't pay shipping. They don't pay shipping. Everybody thinks you don't pay shipping, you don't pay shipping. Yeah, when you're Amazon and you're selling as much shit as they are, you don't worry about free shipping. You deal with it. You could go ahead and you could deal with it, but it makes it difficult when you want to not be a part of that Amazon piece and everything. Oh, okay, Maddie. Yeah, please do, please do. Uh, from that standpoint. So again, it's something that, that's why, even though the profits are extremely small and everything, I'll tell you that eBay standard envelope is still a great way to go ahead and go. Yes, it sucks. That just went up. That went up. The lowest price went up from 74 to 78 cents. Went up 4 cents and stuff. Um, but if you're trying to sell lower end cards, that's the way. Uh, that's the way to go. I mean, I reach out to Pirate Ship every now and again and say, hey, you guys ever think about doing what eBay is doing for called eBay standard envelope for selling, for selling sports cards and postcards? Because I'll tell you right now, if you think about it, if Pirate Ship would offer eBay standard the same type of thing, eBay, and even if let's say it's not, let's say their minimum price is $1 shipping. Imagine all your people, how much business you could, or how many more bit areas you could decide to throw some of your low end cards. You could throw them on Instagram. You could throw them on Twitter. You could throw them on Facebook. and you would still go ahead and be able to at least sell them and ship them through pirate ship, and maybe make, a little bit of, money. We'll see. We shall see, sir. From that standpoint. So, um, we'll see. I don't know. I wish there was something that could be done, but it's going to be what it's going to be. We just have to figure it out as we go along. Man, baseball news. The Red Sox are going for number 16 in a row. They won the first game of a day-night doubleheader, the 15 wins in a row. I think that ties their franchise record. But unfortunately, right now, in the bottom of the third inning, they're down 4-0 to Baltimore. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Walking your neck of the woods, I know you know this, but I did not realize it, but Sal Perez tied George Brett for the Royals home run record. And I think it's what, 317? And I guess I just never realized that George Brett was the leader. The leader at 317 is, for a guy who spent his whole career there. And now I know George was not I mean, he wasn't a big home run hitter. I'm not saying George Brett didn't hit home runs, Locking. I know I'm not saying that. Oh, so he passed him now. I thought he was just tied. When did he oh, passed him for most homers at the K. Ah. But I think he's tied for him for most home runs, period. George hit um 317 in his career with the Royals. And I think today didn't okay, so yes. I think today he tied him, right? If I remember correctly. At 317. I didn't realize again, I didn't realize George Brett hit that many home runs. I honestly I mean, look, and he played forever, yes. Um, but again, like I said, I just didn't realize he hit that he hit that many home runs. But it's good. Sal Perez, great Royal. Um, I mean, you look at what he has done, especially, give him credit. 36 years old, and don't forget he would have gone ahead and he would have passed him if we didn't have the if, Sal was out 2019, yeah, and then we had 2020. So Sal would have been, probably way beyond him. And the K is always one. That's true. The K is, yeah, you're right. But yeah, I did not realize that Perez missed all of 2019. That was his 20. He would have been 29 that year. So between 2019 and 2020, he only played in 37 games. But like I said, I give the guy credit. He still catches. Um, I find it amazing. And hitting coach is a hack, a bad manager, and a GM. Well, we will see. But congratulations, Sal Perez. He should go down as one of the best Royals to ever play. I think when you look at his career, Hall of Famer. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? I don't know. I mean, to me, if a guy's a Hall of Famer, a guy's a Hall of Famer. I think Sal Perez is a Hall of Fame player, unbelievable catcher. The amount of years he did it and everything, one team doing all that kind of stuff, doing what he has done. like I said, to me, I think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't understand the whole, in my personal opinion, he has a 35 WAR for his career. I don't understand the whole thing of, a guy being a Hall of Famer, a guy not being a Hall of Famer. You know, to me, I don't know. If you have a guy like Sal Perez and you say he's a Hall of Famer, I don't know why you leave him off the ballot. I mean, I just don't understand that. The whole Hall of Fame voting thing has always gone ahead and and made me, wonder what the hell is going on. They have a 35 WAR. I guess that's pretty decent. I don't know. I'm not an advanced stat guy. I don't like all this crap. I don't like all this advanced metrics, this advanced analysis and the iPad shit and all that kind of stuff. I don't like all. Oh, his OPS plus BBB and his OPS. I just I don't like that kind of stuff. Yep, Bobby went on the IL. I had to go pick up a shortstop in one of my fantasy leagues. You know, which sucked, but it is what it is. Um, yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's uh it's ridiculous when you look at baseball statistics. It's amazing to know that all of a sudden now batting average means nothing. No one gives a crap anymore. Here we are, July 22nd, and there are one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. There are 9 players batting over 300. That used to be a thing. That used to be massive if you hit over 300. Now, 9 players in all of baseball. There's 3 in the American League, and there's 6 in the National League. Hey, man, you know what happens? Guys, the next man up, man. That's what happens, Matty. Next man up. You got just enough pitching. You got PCA and 2020, already at a 2020 season. Probably going to be at a 30-30 season. Oh, Bobby. Does that matter anymore? I don't know. Who cares? To be honest with you, I mean, I like, I'm not sure what is going on anymore with with stats and everything. Garcia been out playing into most. Yep, Isabel's been out for a long time. Vinny just got back from a hamate. Not sure what a hamate is. Bringing the boy. Yeah, yeah. I mean, PCA's been good. Suzuki. I mean, I mean, Cubs have some guys. Doing some well. One of the interesting. Look at Colorado. It just goes to show you. You wonder how much that stuff usually. How much being in Colorado helps everything. They're the worst team in baseball, but they have 3 of the top 11 guys when it comes to batting average. 3 guys in their batting order. Jake McCarthy's hitting 305. TJ Rumfeld hitting 297. Trey Johnson is hitting 296. Those 3 guys, top 11, all Colorado, yet Colorado sucks. What are you going to do? Look at that. See? I don't know how they're doing well. Home run Suzuki. How about the ending of that Dodgers Phillies game last night. My gosh. That that blunder was ridiculous. I don't understand that. I don't well, the other thing is I don't understand why the third base coach, when the other player from second got to third, why he didn't say just stay there. I don't know why the player decided to run back. Where's the Cubbies? What nothing? One nothing. One nothing. And Fasea, that's his 17th home run. You know, I mean, Matt. The thing is, you look at it, if he's saying, well, obviously, hitting doesn't matter anymore. I mean, like I said, just like I said, look at it. When it comes to batting average and stuff like that, nobody gives a crap anymore. I mean, you could literally go ahead and, you know, you could probably have, who knows? There's a chance you could see a few more Triple Crown winners. A guy like PCA. Well, he bats leadoff, so maybe he might have a hard time. But my gosh, a guy like Juan Soto, you know, he has a chance to go ahead and be, sometime in the next 5, 6 years, he could potentially be a Triple Crown winner because you don't have to hit 360, 370 like you would have had to back in the day, to or 340 or 330, to win a Triple Crown. Yeah, Jordan's gonna win. Jordan, he's probably gonna win the Triple Crown in the American League, right? And what is he? What is his batting average? 326. That's really good. The next guy behind him is 312. That's what's his name? Yandy Diaz. You know, he's got 75 RBIs. Ben Rice has 71. He has 33 home runs, and Ben Rice has 30. He may have a little bit of, competition close, but he could go ahead and do it. Cubs, they gave away. Yeah, well, I mean, the Mets put a third baseman out in right field today, and he misplayed a ball. Wound up being a triple for Milwaukee, and it wound up going ahead and helping Milwaukee go ahead and win the game. So I don't know, man. Uh, you know, all this baseball talk. They have they want to change the draft. The owners want to go from 20 rounds to 12 rounds and lower bonus pool, and the players want to leave it the same and increase some stuff. The salary cap and the ceiling and the floor. Then there's the realignment. There's adding two more. I mean, you're gonna add two more flipping teams. That's crazy. What are we doing? What are we doing that we are adding two more teams to baseball? And are they gonna use more of like the NHL rules for it so that they can go ahead and so that the minor league the team won't suck for the first however many years of its stuff? Yeah, I saw that. He went to the DL. We started the year with nine good starters, have three. I know. Yeah, it's really going to be a mess. I'm really curious how they're gonna get through this. You know, and the thing that gets me from the thing, I get the salary cap thing. I don't think it's going to change anything because if the gap is as big as what they're talking, which is about $100 million, I mean, you know, what makes us think that that the teams that have to go ahead and just barely make the floor, w- what makes us think that they're going to go ahead, and be like, well, hey, we're at 170, let's go to 200. So I did. I saw Salt Lake and Portland was two for on the west side because they want to create they want to create six divisions, four teams in no, they want to go to 32. They want to eight divisions. I'm sorry, eight divisions or eight conferences, whatever you want to call it, of four teams. Um, Absolutely crazy when you look at um uh the realignment thing. I mean, it is absolutely, in my opinion, it is ridiculous. This whole thing now of, I mean, yeah, you have a National League and an American League, but you're talking about, you know, like the National League, the AL Northeast, the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, and Philadelphia. They're talking about potentially a Portland franchise, a Charlotte, maybe a Raleigh. I mean, you think about it in the American League Southeast, you'd have an expansion team. You would have the Miami Marlins. You would have the Tampa Bay Rays, and you'd have the baseball team from Georgia. It'd be interesting to see, that. I mean, it would be, Tampa and the baseball team from Georgia. I mean, there would be like the 1-2 right there. You know, but they talk about like the Twins, Detroit, Milwaukee, and the Blue Jays. It won't work because you'll have SEC level divisions and Ivy League level and only getting one player. Yeah. I mean, you think about it. Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies. Potentially only one team making the playoffs. Wow. I don't understand it. I'm assuming that means, that we won't have a balanced schedule. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the plan could potentially be. So, between that, the salary cap, the changes they want to make to the draft, I think they want to add another roster spot. You get this salary cap stuff, and again, now you're saying, hey, you know, Miami, here's what we need for you to do, Miami. Miami Marlins or Cleveland, Miami. Miami Marlins, you have a salary cap right now of your salary is $81 million. You need to add 90 million to get to the floor. 90 million to get to the floor. It's funny that Indy, Louie, and I don't have a team. I get there's already a ton of Midwest, but those cities are bigger than most being mentioned. Yeah, I think the the alignment, the expansion is going to have to do all with the alignment. I think that, I mean, that's how they want to try and work the two. You know, but again, you think a team like, let's say Portland, whoever you are. Hey, Portland, guess what? This is awesome. You got to spend $170 million. Miami, you have to get Miami. You need to add $90 million to your players. Chicago White Sox, you have to add 80 million. The exactly wise players should want a cap. I I think what's going to I mean, To me, I think the reason why the players don't is because they won't get as much. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I think, because you have to field a team. I guess let me ask you this question. And I don't know pick a player. Let's take a Scooble. Let's use him as an example. If there is a salary cap and he hits the market, the teams that he probably would like to play for with the potential to win aren't going to be able to offer him the biggest contract. So if a Tyreek Scrubble wants $400 million, he wants, and he wants, a 10-year 400, or let's say he wants 40 million a year, let's say it's 8 years, 320, whatever. Let's say he wants to make 40 million a year. Is he going to want to go to Cincinnati? Is he going to want to go to Cleveland? Is he going to want to go to Washington or Las Vegas or Miami? Because those might be the only teams that can offer him that full contract, where the other teams, they can't. Oh, I know Boros would hate it. What's the Scooble? That's a Tyreek Scooble. Um, I guess that's my thing. Like, that's the part that I wonder about, Lawkin. When we look at the salary cap stuff, you know, are we truly, you know, I think at that point, to be honest with you, we will truly see which players want to win and which players want to just make their bag. Because, if you look at the higher price teams, if you look at the teams that are going to be near that cap and they can't make those offers, then that guy has to decide, well, do I want to take significantly less money, or do I want to go play in Pittsburgh and make 40 million? Do I want to go play for Cleveland? And we're assuming Cleveland will offer him that. Well, maybe, and I wonder, right? Cleveland goes, "Oh wow, hey, we got to get to our floor. If we offer Scooble 40 million, that's $40 million closer." So now we went from having to worry about 80 million a year, 90 million. We only have to do 50 million because we just signed a guy to $40 million a year, which I guess does what the salary cap is supposed to do. I mean, I I don't know why the players would want it, because it does potentially stop players from getting the most money that they can. Because I wouldn't have confidence that the Miami Marlins would now all of a sudden go, okay, we need $90 million to get to the floor. Let's give Scooble 40 million, and then let's give, I don't know, somebody else, this other player, 30 million. Now we're at 70, and we'll give this guy over here 20 million. We sign 3 players, we make up our 90 million. We're good to go. I don't know. I just have a hard, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Um, I wonder, you know, I wonder if that is the sword that, the owners are willing to die on, in my opinion. I could see them not worrying about the draft. I can see them saying, "Hey, the whole pool money, fine. I can understand that. I mean, I can, in a little bit, from that standpoint." Um, the international draft, I don't have a problem with that. I always have wondered why um, they didn't have an international draft. I always thought that'd be a good idea to go ahead and have, but they didn't. So we'll see, man. I think it's really interesting, this whole stuff and everything. And let's face it, you know, I think the agreement ends, is it the last day of the league, or is it like the last day of November? I can't remember which when. What if I can look that up? Let's see. When does the current MLB CBA end? The current Major League Baseball collective bargaining agreement expires at 12:59 p.m. on December 1st. Yep, that's when she ends. So we'll see. I mean, if you're both sides, I mean, there's no rush to do anything, but by the same token, you know, do you really want to wait? And I wondered, do some of these all these friggin' places you got to watch it now. Netflix, Prime, I don't know, whatever, the ESPN network, Fox, all these, you know, deals that they have, signed. I wonder if they'll, I don't know if those companies uh, will put pressure on, or they can put pressure on the MLB, but I could see them going ahead, and doing something with the MLB and saying, "Hey guys, excuse me, we went ahead and expected you guys to be playing baseball. We didn't expect you guys to not be playing baseball." So I think it opens up a lot for people. Um, they I don't know. Oh, baseball is more popular than ever, and so on and so forth, and everything. I mean, baseball is more popular when your team does good. When your team sucks, baseball is not very popular. You can say whatever the hell they want to say. They can do any of that kind of crap. You know, uh, you know, when you look at the attendance and everything, you know, I understand. It's dealing with the athletics is tough, but I mean, you know, athletics are doing 10,000, but they don't have but they're not in a big stadium. So I go ahead and I get it, you know. But I don't know. I mean, Miami Marlins average 12,000 fans a game. Athletics that makes sense. I mean, Miami does 12,000 a game. And here's the crazy thing. Who is the top team in the American League East? The Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay always seems to go have a lot of good teams. They average 16,000 fans a game. Royals are at 19,000. Pirates are at 20. Minnesota's at 21. Baltimore's 21. I mean, Baltimore at Camden Yards. That's tough. You know, that's you know, that's tough and everything. Let's see. You know, yeah, you should, but they're not gonna. I mean, I don't know how they do it. I do not understand how they can go ahead and, how anything like that would be. Yeah. Well, I mean, Tampa talked about going ahead and moving with this whole thing with their stadium and everything. They're like, hey, if we're not going to, they were going to do this really nice thing, but I guess that got shot down now. That's done. So now they're, that the Tropicana, whatever the hell it's called, I think, wherever they are. Yeah, Tropicana, you know. But I mean, the Dodgers have already drawn 2 million, 2.5 million. The Blue Jays 2.1 million. The Padres 2.1 million. The Phillies 2 million. The Yankees are just under 2 million. Um, so I don't know. It's here, but here we are. Let's go ahead and have expansion. Let's go ahead and have expansion. So who knows what's gonna happen? Who the flip knows? Oh boy. I think, Disney could have a team. The Disney Mickey's best attendance would be. Oh yeah, I mean, well, Disney would go ahead and offer all kinds of stuff. Oh hey, come here and you can go ahead and you can go to the park and everything. Excuse me a second. I don't know if you heard me. Excuse me a second. I got a, I got a dog at the feet. Can't go ahead and put my feet out and everything. So I don't know. We just they're having a hard time. Just have all the lines go through the stadium. Yeah, they could. They most definitely could and everything. So with basketball, I find it funny that Rich Paul says LeBron James will not be rushed into making a decision. Is that code for, hey, nobody's really offering us anything worthy of us playing for them? You can still have a shot at me. There's talk that he already had some kind of deal with Philadelphia, but who the heck knows that? But I know I I could care less where he goes. Um, I find it interesting that you know what is taking so long to make a decision. I mean, how many teams could possibly want LeBron James? You know what? I didn't think about it, but that is a great comparison. It's he's Aaron. It's like Aaron Rodgers, where he still thinks everybody talks about him. You know what? Great comparison, Larkin. Great comparison. I don't think anybody cares. Um, I don't think teams are going, oh no, if LeBron James go here, man, wow, that could be really, really bad. I mean, to me, LeBron, what are you trying to do? What do you want to accomplish? You're at 4 rings. If you want to get to five because you think that will be, hey, I'll look better with five, well, then your choices are none of the teams that I'm reading about. Your choices change. So, why? Why else would you go to the Jets, who are nowhere close to winning it in your career? I mean, because they had some decent pieces, and maybe he thought he could go ahead and get them over the hump. He's take his talent, strikes it. Yeah, like I said, I don't think people care about where LeBron's going to end up. Like, look, hey, If you want to chase a ring, go right ahead. Go sign with San Antonio. Go sign with OKC. Go ahead. Go sign with Boston. I don't want him to sign with the Knicks. I don't want him part of New York anymore. We're done. We don't need him. We got our ring. F him, you know. But then do that. If you want to just enjoy basketball, then go home to Cleveland and end your career there. But what are you trying to do? You're not going to go somewhere and resurrect a uh the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not going to happen. You're not going to do that. You're fucking, you're, I look, when you look at the guy's stats, I mean, I don't put a lot into him, but he does play. Yes, he only, I mean, he takes his time off and all that kind of stuff, but he does average, in the middle 30s of games. I'll give him that credit at that age for that sport. But after that, who cares? I could care less. And in reality, I mean, that's the truth and everything, you know. So, hello, Mr. Bird. Oh wow, yeah. Today is release day for Chrome. Today is release day. The hit of the product was the dual logo man Otani. One he's signed in English, and one he signed in, I'm gonna say Japanese, but I know that's not right. So I'm sorry. From that standpoint. Does the flop more than he scores points game? Yeah, he probably does. He definitely does. I mean, it's amazing when you look at some of the flops that he has had over time and stuff. But you know, it just goes to show you how he's trying to do whatever he can do to be relevant when unfortunately he's become irrelevant. And in my opinion, how do you believe that you should have a GOAT status if no one gives a shit where you're going to play? When no one cares. No one cares where you're going. Just go already. Go get it done with. It'll be on ESPN. It'll be on the ticker, for Yahoo Sports. It'll be, it'll probably be on the news. Oh my gosh, LeBron James, blah blah blah, signs with That's where it's going to be. Can we just get it done with? Everybody said he's going to do it at Fanatics Fest. That's what he's waiting for. And now he's not going to be rushed. Like, what are you rushing about? Like, this is the part that I don't understand. Are you don't want to rush because you think all of a sudden some team is going to go ahead and come knocking at your door that you weren't expecting, or the team that you would love to go to has not come knocking at your door? That's the only reason why you wait. Because let's say there were four teams that showed interest in you. What are you waiting for? You waiting for a fifth one to show up? So enough. It's ridiculous. I don't know. It'll be what it'll be. So hey, I don't know if you saw the news, but a Wilt Chamberlain Lakers warm-up jacket was found in a Portland Goodwill, and it sold for $89,000 at auction. And it was purchased by some 19-year-old kid who was raided the bargain bin looking for a jacket he'd seen someone toss, and it seemed like it bought. So somebody had it in their hands, and they didn't want it, and they threw it back. He saw it, he gets it. He Man, he buys it for $3.07. $3.07. He went, he did all his searching and so on and so forth. I don't know how the dude figured out it was real, but he did. And somebody paid $89,000 for it. The Detroit Tigers have tied the Chicago Cubs. Spencer Torkelson has hit a home run. Boston chipping back, bottom of the fifth, one out. They've down three now. Larkin, what do you think about the $3 billion domed stadium for the Chiefs? Sad to see Arrowhead go away. Oh, wow. It'll feature a ceiling of translucent ethylene terafluoroethylene panels. Wow. You would think that would go ahead and make it like a greenhouse. The new stadium design also pays homage to Arrowhead Stadium, long home in Missouri, which opened 72, including the scalloped upper deck in each end zone, continuing the Chiefs' unique look when compared to other NFL stadiums. Just need to remake Arrowhead loudest outdoor stadium in the world. Well, I tell you right now, you put a dome on top. Think about how much louder that place could be. Let's see. It'll hold 70,000 with the intent of amplifying crowd noise, a request that he heard from several season ticket members in multiple surveys. In 2014, Arrowhead regained the Guinness World Book of Records for the loudest stadium after fans of Seattle broke it. Hope the roots. Yeah, I mean, but translucent panels. I mean, you would think that would you need some serious air conditioning going on because you think I mean, I understand it's wintertime, it gets cool, but you would think those beginning of the season games that still be pretty warm if you have that sun just beating down on there. That's cool. Mixed use district, whatever the Kansas lawmakers. So they're moving. Wow, them. Hunt said the new stadium will be an ideal place for Chiefs fans to tailgate, which has been a distinct whatever surrounding Arrowhead. The atmosphere hours for the game. Oh, a distinct aesthetic surrounding. Okay. Wow. Pretty cool looking. The site for the new dome has not been decided. In late December, Kansas City Governor Laura Kelly said the stadium will be in Wyandotte County. In the past, the Chiefs have been interested in having the dome built in Kansas City, Kansas, near the Kansas Speedway and the retail and entertainment district known as the Legends. The home is also home to the Children's Mercy Park, home of the MLS club Sporting Kansas City. Huh. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. They want to have it ready for the 30-32 calendar. They would get the Super Bowl. If you're going to be in a dome stadium, you could definitely wind up getting the Super Bowl. You know, I get good for Kansas City. Uh Not much else going on. Not much else going on. So think I'm going to go ahead and end it. Oh, at least that Arrowhead is up and maybe. Let me look real fast in this article. New stadium will be surrounded by more than 20,000 parking spots. Fan base incredible, something iconic, community well minimum 30 years. Dome Chiefs new stadium expected increases seats, luxury seats, and amenities help the boosted revenue. Starting for the 2032 calendar, Chiefs intend to bid on hosting several major events. Obviously that would make sense. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about it when it would end. Final four, yep. Royal stupid plan has no parking. Are they upgrading Kaufman or are they moving? I was there once. I was traveling to St. Louis and we went there. We were not able to there was no games going on. I forgot when we were going when there was either during I think it was during the week. I don't think it was during the week. I think it was during not during baseball season, or if it was during baseball season, the Royals were out of town and we went and we walked inside, went to the gift shop and stuff. So oh, they want to go downtown? Everybody wants to go downtown. Go downtown. Yeah, they could get yeah, they'd be able to get bowl games. Super Bowl. Wow. Final four, college football playoff games, bowl games, and of course a Super Bowl. That's pretty interesting. So well, all right, everybody. Hey, thanks a lot for hanging out. Much appreciated. Let's see, what do we have coming up? Next week, next week will be on the 29th. Oh man, it could be a big one. Could be a uh probably going to be a SummerSlam preview. And then what I'm kicking around is the following week's show. Good night, Matty Ice. Appreciate you, brother. Maybe on August 2nd, go live after SummerSlam and have a SummerSlam recap. So we'll see. But thanks a lot, everybody. Much appreciate. Don't forget to go, check out some other podcasts that are out there. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and we'll catch you at the next stream.